I never thought I would be starting a lesson with the words, check out this wild series of key changes in this Sublime song. No, not sublime as in the word, that means exalted, lofty, grand, or whatever, but the band Sublime. Wait, don't go away if you hate Sublime. If you stay and watch this video, I'll bet I can show you a song of theirs with modulations that will blow your mind. Leave me a comment at the end and tell me if I changed your mind or if you learned something unexpected. I'm going to keep this lesson on the short side, so stick around and find out. Have I let you down before? Wait, don't answer that. Have I let you down before with a Chord video? I don't think I've let you down with a Chord video. Maybe some of my releases, there was some subpar songs here or there. Many of you know my background in complex chord analysis for pop music, and that I'm always looking for fresh ideas in the chord progression department, and I tend to favor sophistication. Well, I can verify that this Sublime song, Pool Shark, has an amazing and unexpected set of key changes that perfectly represents the tragedy of the subject matter. This song is really short, about 1 minute and 30 seconds, in the same way that Bradley Nowell, the singer's, life was short. He died at 28. What is it, about 28? Big Bopper, Shannon Hoon, the Big Bopper, Richie Valens, and Buddy Holly went to man. Anyway, this song packs in 5 unexpected key changes in that short amount of time. If you don't know the song, please go listen to the original Pool Shark by Sublime, the acoustic version, before continuing. Now, I know a lot of you people do not like Sublime. I was never a fan at the time, and their songs were driven into our heads incessantly on the radio, and they seemed to perfectly depict that certain surfer bro skater culture that I didn't really find myself identifying with at the time. We were sort of taught reflexively to dislike this type of stuff. I played avant-garde music, so you definitely could not like Sublime, but it didn't really strike me as a big deal. Over the years, it started to catch my ear a little bit, a song here or there. I knew someone that had known the singer Bradley Nowell and had hung out in places where he had, and really spoke highly of his talents, of the encyclopedic nature of his memory for rock music. But I was never really a fan. As much as we all learned to hate Santeria and how much it was played, the words for that song are incredible. They seem to be about a guy struggling with the flirtation of the heroin habit that could kill him, and so it would ruin the life of his child and his family that he had also made at the same time, but very abstractly. I like abstract lyrics, and they really are abstract. But anyway, let's get to the chord analysis. Pool Shark, Sublime, stick around. We are going to become surfer bro chord analysis guys today. Come on, surfer, skater, bro, chord analysis guys. We can do this. And Sublime might surprise you, because they sure did surprise me when I finally gave this song a chance way back in the day. Probably introduced to it by Jesse Houts, I'm guessing. Shout out to Jesse, rest in peace. Okay, so Pool Shark by Sublime. It starts with a little slightly out of time 2 chords or 3 chords, just a little guitar. The whole song is really just the acoustic guitar and the singer. That's it. And it's got a rawness. The subject matter is real eerie, because he's talking about how this heroin habit is going to eventually kill him, and now we know that it did. It has a pretty eerie tone to it. So it just kind of strums these guitars. I put fermatas. They're not really fermatas. It's just meaning we're not really in strict tempo yet. It's like some kind of... You almost wonder, are we in C minor, which would be a relative minor to E flat major? Are we in C minor, that's 2 of B flat major? Are we in C harmonic minor? Well, we're not, because it's a G minor, not a G7. If we were in real C minor, that would be a G7, right? So it just does these 3 chords. So we don't know what key we're in yet. Then it does the first verse, and it does, again, the same 2 chords, C minor and G minor. Now we go to, oh, is that home? Finally. So what's cool about that progression is it's just in E flat major for the most part. You can say it's flirting with B flat major, because C minor would be 2 of B flat and G minor would be 6, but A flat would not be diatonic in B flat major. So we are in E flat major, and if you're getting tired of your regular E flat major chord progressions, why not go 6 first, and then 3, and then 4 in a plagal cadence when you go from 4 to 1. So it just takes 4 chords to get there, which makes it slightly interesting. You finally realize where you are by the 4th chord, and then it immediately changes keys unexpectedly. So this song is a wild ride. How things weren't so cool to me. My baby likes to shoot bull, like lightning in your bed. First key change. Lying on the dinosaur line used to be. Then another key change. Okay, so yeah, simple little 4-chord verse: C minor, G minor, A flat, E flat, which is really just 6, 3, 4, 1, and E flat. Immediately modulate up to E and do a 2-bar phrase, which means you can see the chorus coming up here. We do 4 bars and then 2 bars. That makes it odd. And I've told you from an arrangement standpoint before, it's very important to have odd bars sometimes, where you don't always do 4, 4, or 8, that you cut a bar short or 2 bars short. And in this case, he does 4 and then 2. Most things have 4 and then 4. So it's an odd arrangement in that respect. And you can see when I draw my charts, here's a little hint. I always want the new section to be on the 1. So if, instead of me doing 2 bars there and then starting the chorus up here, I just like it to look nice to my eye. So little handwriting trick. It modulates up to E after 4 chords. So that E to B really could be 1 to 5 in E, which is what I'm calling it, but it also could be 4 to 1 in B. But to my ears, it had this sound of kind of like that B was dominant, even though there's nothing playing dominant. Turn on the dinosaur. You could almost imagine there's the dominant. No one's playing it, but I see that as 1, 5 in E. If you wanted to call it 4, 1 in B, it just doesn't sound like a 4, 1 to me. But see that heart I put there? It means it's in E, but it's kind of flirting with B. And there's nothing in the melody that defines it as being in either key, honestly. So we've done one unexpected key change, okay, big deal, and in an odd 6-bar phrase. Here's one finally. We're finally settled, and then all of a sudden they modulate. 1 to 5 in E. Used to be. Another modulation of the chorus. Now I got the need in the breeze, and I can't breathe. Got some of the lyrics wrong there, but big deal. I'm just trying to show you the chord stuff and the chord structure. So verse was 6 bars and included a modulation. When you get settled in the new key of E, you do 2 bars. And out of nowhere, the chorus goes to the key of A. So you're actually modulating from the key of E up a perfect fourth to A, right? So then, but it doesn't start on A, which is why it's confusing. It's 4, 1. And that could be another key too, right? That could be in the key of A or the key of D. It tells us at the end of the progression, when it does this E, that was 5. So we were in A. So after the 2 bars of in E, used to be, chorus, modulate to the key of A and go 4, 1. Now I've got the need, the shade. I can't breathe, I'll take it away, but I want more. Someday I'm gonna lose the war. It turns it minor. And I know you're probably saying, big deal, that's that 4 minor. No, it's not. That's not that 4 minor thing. This is a completely different trick where he was in the key of A. And by the way, I think this was all intuitive. I don't know much about Bradley Nowell, but I'm guessing he was more self-taught and in garages and stuff. So I think he was just making up these chords, not like, oh, how do we do a tricky chord progression? And that's oftentimes the better stuff, is when it's not contrived, right? So he had ended the chorus finally on 5 of A. And to get to the next verse, he simply turns that E to E minor. So this is not 4 to 4 minor, because usually if it's 4 to 4 minor, that would be D to D minor, and it resolves to 1. In this case, they just take that E major, make it minor, and make it as if we're just starting over on the new verse, but now we're in E minor, right? So I'm calling us in G major, right? Because E minor, the relative major, is G. I could call this in E minor, but it's heading towards G, remember? Just like that first verse was heading towards E flat. It's just, take a special note there. this totally unexpected 4-1 in the key of A, and then it ends on the 5 of A and just turns it minor, and now you're in a new place, going to a verse that's not the same key as the last verse was. So not super common, guys, honestly, and it's pretty sophisticated. And he probably wrote this song while he was had shot up and had some special inspiration from the muse, because there's a reason I think people keep coming back to that stuff, right? I have never tried anything in that realm, so why do these writers go back? Because sometimes they come up with some really good stuff over there. I'm not going to try that in particular, but man, this is pretty freaking cool. So let's take it... just a super quick run through the first verse. I want you to see how it does all that. I'm thinking how things were so cool. My baby should pull a lightning in my bed. First modulation. Time on the dinosaur tonight used to be. Now to the key of A, go 4-1. Now I got the needle, I can't breathe. I'll take it away, one more. Finally to 5. One day I'm gonna lose the war. Now make it minor and you're in a new verse. Lying in my plastic bed, how things were so cool to me. My baby likes to shoot pool. Finally to 1. You're finally settled in 1. Naked in my bed. Now up a half step to A flat. I'm a dinosaur. To 5. Used to be. Incredible chord progression. Let's take it through one more time from the top and just talk it through, and I think we're done. It's not like they're hard chords. There's no extensions. There's no dominant 7. There's nothing. This is literally just key, new key. And if you look at the pattern it follows, E flat, then up a half step. Half step, something they usually use towards the end of the song in 80s songs. You don't usually go a quick half step up. That's not that common. I've seen the Beach Boys do that once in a while, but man. So we're in the key of E flat, then the key of E for 2 bars, then up a fourth to the key of A, and then to the key of G major or E minor, and then to the key of A flat. And then we're just following the same pattern we'd already established. So the intro, those 3 chords, however you want to do that. My plastic, how things weren't so cool to me. My baby likes to shoot pool. I like lying naked in my bed. Up a half step and a 2-bar odd phrase. Time on the dinosaur tonight used to be. Now a new key, A, but we go 4-1. Now I've got the zeal in the shade where I can't breathe. Taking away more. Finally 5 of A. One day I'm gonna lose the war. Just turn it minor and you're in a new place. Lay in my plastic bed and how things went so cool to me. 4. My baby likes to shoot pool. Finally, we're in G. Naked in my bed. Pull the rug out. On the dinosaur tonight used to be. Then we go to the key of C sharp. Now I've got the needle and the shade, but I can't breathe. I'll take it away, but I want more and more. Someday I'm gonna lose the war. So we did that new key of A flat. Time on the dinosaur. 1-5 to 9 used to be. Now go to C sharp and go 4-1. Now I got the needle in the shade. I can't breathe. You're taking away, but I want more. And 5. One day I'm gonna lose the war. Over the years, I have really grown to love this song and appreciate it as a songwriter, and it's so different than anything I would do with all my little Beach Boy harmonies. So sometimes just someone, showing you something else that you could be simpler. He's just using triads. It's really an amazing song. There's a shakiness to his voice that really characterizes the subject matter well. The dark, eerie lyrics and subject matter, it's probably the best foreshadowing my own death with heroin addiction and classic rock and roll style song ever. I know we romanticize that kind of thing, but it's brutal, man. He had a kid, he had a wife, he had people that cared about him. His star was just coming up. I mean, he had a very short amount of time in the limelight before their band took off after he died. So, man, they could have been crazy huge. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of their songs. There's a couple that I think have some pretty cool stuff in them, and this is the number one for sure. Let me just read the lyrics real quick. Lying in my plastic bed, thinking how things were so cool to me. My baby likes to shoot pool. I like lying naked in my bedroom. Tying on the dinosaur tonight used to be so cool. Is that the tie off of the needle? Now I've got the needle and I can't bleed, but I can't breathe. Take it away and I want more and more. One day I'm gonna lose the war. As a nurse, I've taken care of a lot of heroin addicts and people withdrawing from heroin, and what he's describing there really sounds like that gotta have it addiction. I have some addictions to things like that, like some food stuff and some other minor vices, but we all have that kind of stuff. But I'm glad to have never ventured into that realm. It looks fun, and like, why would you want to even risk that? Then it goes back to the next verse, and I think it just repeats the words. Lying in my plastic bed, thinking how things were so cool to me. My baby likes to shoot pool. I like lying naked in my bedroom. Tying on the dinosaur tonight, it used to be so cool. Now I've got the needle, and I can't shake, but I can't breathe. Take it away, but I want more and more. One day I'm going to lose the war. It's a great, haunting, eerie vocal performance, and, I don't like to romanticize this type of thing, like I said, but, considering what ended up happening to him, it's not like it's that surprising that he predicted it, because it was a high chance that something like that could lead to that eventuality. But man, this is an eerie song, and for all you songwriters, you have to see the value in that. Try to learn it a couple times and see if you have anything like that in your songs, because I have a bunch of modulations, but this type of one, I don't know. I thought there was something really cool and unique about that, and I hope there's something you can take away from that. Please hit subscribe. Please come join my Patreon. Thanks a lot for watching this video and taking an interest in my channel. Please help me reach a larger audience by hitting subscribe below and ringing the notification bell. Check out my video playlist page to find the categories that most interest you. Leave me a super thanks here on YouTube, and even better, come join my Patreon. Please consider buying music for my original projects I.S.S. and High Castle Teleorchestra. Also, don't forget to sign up for my email list on the front page of timsmolens.com. You can find information about all of those things in the description below. Thanks again.